Most of us don't have a large net worth like famous investor Warren Buffett or Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Even if you don't have a lot of money, it is still a good idea to know your personal net worth. Many people don't do this, even though it's a very useful tool. Knowing how much money you have lets you keep track of your progress and see how you're doing over time. Even if you don't have a lot of money, it's still a good idea to know your personal net worth. Many people don't do this, even though it can be a very helpful tool. Knowing how much money you have lets you keep track of your progress and see how you're doing over time. It's also nice to know how your net worth compares to that of your peers, not to compare yourself to them but to see how you're doing compared to the average person. Here are the average net worths by age, according to a survey by the Federal Reserve Board of Consumer Finances, so you can see how yours compares. Watch until the end to find out the best ways to increase your net worth and easily surpass the average person. My name is Jerome, and I help teach people about money, personal finance and investing. If you want to improve your financial future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you found this video helpful. First, it's important to understand how net worth is calculated. Some people think that your annual income determines your net worth, but that's not true. Simply put, your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities, aka debts. Your main assets are your house, your car, and anything else of value, like bank accounts and investments. If your home is worth $500,000, your cars are worth $50,000, and other small assets add up to $10,000, the total would be $560,000. However, this doesn't equal net worth because liabilities haven't been taken into account. If you owe $400,000 in mortgages, $25,000 in car loans, and $3,000 in credit card debt, your total debt is $428,000. You would then subtract your liabilities from your assets to get your net worth total of every 3 years. The Federal Reserve Board does a survey of consumer finances to find out about family incomes and net worth. The most recent survey was done in September 2019, and the report came out even though the study isn't completely up to date because of recent high inflation rates. It should still be a fairly accurate representation. The study found that the current mean average net worth of U.S. households was a surprising the average person wouldn't have that much money, but the very rich households of billionaires and multimillionaires have a drastic Looking at the median average midpoint gives you a better idea of the average person you see on the street, who is probably more like you. The overall median net worth of U.S. households is $121,700. For someone under 35 who is the head of the family, the median net worth of a household is only $13,900. This could be because people this age are just starting out in their careers and haven't started making a steady income yet. They may also have student loans, which make it hard to build up their net worth. They may have just bought a home or haven't bought one yet, which can also have a big effect on their net worth. According to the Federal Reserve, the median net worth of homeowners is $255,000, and they may not have renters have an average net worth of $6,300 income. Even if they have, it can take a long time for investments to snowball and start earning a decent amount of money. 35-44-year-olds have a median net worth of $91,300. At this point in their lives, they usually have a career and a higher income, but they also have more responsibilities because their families are growing. The purchase of a home has probably helped their net worth grow because they are paying down their mortgage and owning an appreciating asset instead of renting or living with their parents. Retirement accounts have hopefully been set up and are being added to regularly, but many people haven't even started to think about retirement yet if they do at all. The 45 to 54 age group is steadily growing to $168,600. While the previous age group doesn't always experience as many changes. Some families are starting to see their kids move out, which may or may not help the family budget. These older families are usually in the same priced homes they were in before, with the occasional upgrade to make room for a growing family. Many fail to start planning for their future because they don't understand investments or don't realize they need to invest. As a result, debts often get bigger, and more luxuries are bought because people feel they deserve it. The 55 to 64 age group see a small increase to the housing situation probably hasn't changed much. Some families may decide to downsize because their kids have moved out. At this point, people's incomes usually stop going up and start going down because they work less. Some people's situations are getting better because their investments are growing, their mortgages are getting paid off, and they can buy other things with cash instead of taking out loans. Households with members aged 65 to 74 have a net worth of $266,400, which is a little more than those with younger members. Since traditional retirement starts at age 65, net worth isn't going to grow like it used to, and some people are taking money from their investments and median net worth drops to $254,800 for people 75 and older. This is the first age group whose net worth actually goes down, but that's not always a bad thing. Spending the money you have left can be fun as long as you're not likely to run out. None of us knows how long we're going to live, so why not take a vacation once in a while if you're not going to spend all of your retirement money? Most people this age aren't working, and if they are, their income is probably not very high. Your net worth is one way to measure your financial situation and can help you track your financial progress. It can be helpful to keep track of your net worth, but it doesn't really tell you when you'll be financially independent. For example, someone could have a net worth of $10 million but still need to work to pay their bills. A better way to judge your financial health is to know your annual passive income and annual expenses. Focusing on the total value of your home is less important than growing your investments to bring in more money. There are a few important ways to increase your net worth, which can help you become financially independent if you're not already paying off student loans. Prioritize paying off credit cards and other debts that lower your net worth. This means you won't have to pay interest to lenders and will have more money for other things. Second, put money into assets that increase in value, like real estate, businesses, stocks, and other investments. Finding ways to save money is another powerful way to grow over time, and there are a lot of big ways to save that you might not have thought of. You can only save so much, so I suggest increasing your income, not just at your 9-to-5 but also with side gigs that can be used to help you get richer. Lastly, be patient and know that getting ahead takes time. If you follow these steps, though, building wealth is inevitable.